Hello, BookTube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Juan. I am just one reader, your favorite Mexican booktuber who reads in English, you betcha. This is my reading wrap-up for the month of July. So first up, I read In the Freud Archives by Janet Malcolm, and being a psychoanalyst myself, this was just such a wonderful read. It's a saucy, salacious, gossipy story about a scandal that took place within the world of institutionalized psychoanalysis like a few decades, well, some decades ago. And it's a story about powerful men, egos, the older world of psychoanalysis, which is not really that same way today, but it was just wonderful. It's a great piece of journalistic nonfiction, and it was so fun to read, as well as illuminating and thought provoking. The next book that I read was Embers by Sandor Maray. This is my Spanish translation, El Último Encuentro, but it's better known as Embers in English, although it's a Hungarian novel originally written in Hungarian by Sandor Maray. This book was recommended to me by a patient, and I was incredibly thankful. I told him so. I was very grateful. And this is a perfect novel. It is a five-star book for me. It was masterfully crafted, expertly told. The writing is beautiful. It's one of those novels where you can really see the writing and be like, oh, the writing sings, which is such a pretentious fuckery to say, but in this case, it absolutely is true. The writing sings and soars. Oh, I hate those things. But that's just absolutely right. That is the right assessment. This tells the story of this general who lives in what used to be the empire. So, Embers is the title, and it really reflects this feeling of something like decline and fall of this man, but also the state of the world and everything that's happened to him. We get to see his personal story through flashbacks, and it's also very much written almost like a play, like a theater drama. So it's very, very easy to read, very accessible, very fast. I adored the pacing, and you really get to see this man's personality like from the inside, and it's absolutely just a beautiful, beautiful novel. The next book that I read was a complete disappointment, which, it's such a bummer considering the beautiful cover and just the overall beauty of this book, at least on the outside. This is CloudCuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. I really wanted to fall in love with Anthony Doerr for some weird reason, I guess because he won the Pulitzer and he wrote All the Light We Cannot See, and everyone loves that book. I don't know if this one sort of resembles anything that he wrote in that book, All the Light We Cannot See, but here I really, really, really did not like his writing. I thought the writing was just that awful combination that I hate of being really simplistic but also incredibly bloated and pretentious and just full of itself and preachy at the same time, and I don't like those things. If you're going to go for like really big, complex, flowery language, go for it. If you want to go with really minimalistic, stark, sparse, like bare bones kind of language, go for it. But here, I just found it just a weird, weird, weird way of using language. The story itself was very ambitious, but at the same time, nothing really new. It was boring sometimes, which is the worst thing. I mean, it's just the worst sin. It's unacceptable. You can be bad, but being boring is unacceptable. This book was a disaster. It had some conceptual ideas that were really great, but the execution of said ideas were just not carried out in what I considered a successful way. So even though there are some good ingredients here, this is a cake whose batter did not rise. So this is like a two-star book for me. Next up, I read the biggest surprise of the year for me, The Notebook by Agota Christoph, another Hungarian novel. Like who would have thought that I would be reading Hungarian Hungarian literature in like a month, and that I would be really, really enjoying it. So The Notebook is the first book in the trilogy called The Notebook by Agota Christoph. This is, I mean, everyone who has read this has absolutely fallen in love with it, and I can see why. I didn't really know that much going into it. I didn't really know what I was getting into. I just knew that people were really crazy about it. And boy, I was not ready for this. I did not see this coming. This book took me by surprise. I won't really say what it's about because I hope people can have the same experience and the same reaction to it than I did because it's priceless. This book is shocking. It's perfectly written. Like, it's exactly the kind of writing style that I am fascinated by. It's stark, sparse, bare bones, minimalistic, Hemingway esque. She just uses the words that she needs to use to convey the information in a very, very simplistic and yet beautiful way. This book is horrifying. It's absolutely devastating. It's sad. It's very funny as well. It's incredibly violent and sexual and just crazy bonkers. I loved it. The plot goes all over the place. The pacing is relentless. It's compulsively readable, and it's a five-star book. The next book that I completed was Rendición by Rey Loriga. This is a Spanish book. It was written by a Spanish author. It won the Alfaguara Award, the Premio Alfaguara, back in 2017. So I've had this book for well, since it was published in 2017, I guess. And I just read it and I really, 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 really liked it. I would say this is like a solid four-star book, but it's such a great read, and I do think I will be recommending this. And I will not be surprised if by the end of the year this makes it onto my favorites of the year list. This is a dystopian tale. It's about this man and his very, very peculiar family who are sort of evicted, or yeah, they are sort of refugees in a way of the world they had known. They just lose everything, but then they it's weird because they lose everything, but then they win everything apparently on the surface, and they sort of have to go and live in a new city where everything is apparently perfect, and it seems like life is perfect when you surrender critical thinking and individuality and humanity. Those are the themes present in this book. The story is really well paced. The writing is good. It's nothing that really like stuck out to me, but I really enjoyed the flow, the rhythm, the cadence of the book. It was sometimes surprisingly funny and tender. I love the ending, and yeah, it's a four-star book that I really, really enjoyed. And finally, the last book that I completed in July, one of the most joyful, happy reading experiences that I've had in ages. The Book of Dust, Volume 1, La Belle Sauvage by Philip Pullman. This is a direct prequel to Historic Materials by Philip Pullman, and I read this book when it originally came out 8 years ago. However, I had completely forgotten every single thing about the book and my experience of reading it. And let me tell you, this is a perfect book. I absolutely fell in love with it. I gave it 5 stars. If I could give it 6 stars, I would. This was a wonderful exercise, or not even an exercise. It's a great example of storytelling. Philip Pullman is just a master storyteller. His authorial voice is so elegant. It actually made me think of Robin Hobb's writing style, except better, which is saying something. Like, those are big words coming out of my mouth, because if you know me, you know that I pretty much worship Robin Hobb. Like, she is one of the authors that are revered in this household. Well, I think Philip Pullman is just a little step up, a little step higher in terms of the elegance and the craft and the simplicity yet beauty of the language. It's just the language that's really, really what makes me enjoy a book. And here the language is first and foremost spectacular. It really carries the story along, and it gives everything this kind of wonderful pacing. We have a lot of dialogue, which I love. Because it reads like a play sometimes, and it was actually adapted as a stage play at the National Theater, I think. By the way, the trailer looks amazing. Um, so it reads like a play when there's big scenes that are dialogue heavy, but then it also feels very cinematic, like an actual movie, like with action sequences. It feels like a thriller, like a spy thriller. There's gossip, intrigue, danger. It's a book that feels very suspicious and distrustful of everyone, and it's told through the eyes of this boy, an 11-year-old boy. And Philip Pullman just writes uh, child characters, protagonists wonderfully well, and we get to really feel the dread, the fear, the hunger, the peril. It's a perilous book. It's filled with peril and with menace, and there's this sense of relentless frenzy and chaos that I absolutely adored. I cannot wait to continue with the series. The third and final book in the Book of Dust is coming out this October, so I am reading this, and well, I read this, and I will be reading the second book, The Secret Commonwealth, in August. So there you go. Those are the books that I completed in July. I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and please let me know what you think, or I mean, if you have any recommendations for me, let me know in the comments down below. I am just one reader. I will see you on the next video.